So I'll be talking about something pretty amazing today, and I'm so excited you guys are here for us to learn together, to grow together. A big shout out to everyone on the call: Agnes, Abdul, Deborah, Delia, Osioma, Jennifer, Mary, and everyone else that have joined today. I'm sure we are going to have an amazing time. If you're with me, please, I want to get a thumbs up to be sure that we are all together. No one is distracted. Yes, that's good. That's good. Amazing. All right. So today I want it to be very interactive. I want you to note down your questions during the conversation. So you get clarity, or if there's some areas that you feel like you need clarity on, then I want you to ask those questions. Okay. So we are going to be talking about business analysis tools that is driving the future of work. Before we go much further, I would want to talk about Amdari. For you to be here, it means you've seen something amazing. You've seen us as an organization, and you want to be part of the conversation today. So basically, Dari, it's a platform that revolutionized the way tech professionals build their career and gain work experience. And our mission is very simple and amazing, right? And our mission is to bridge the gap between learning and real world experience. A lot of people have this problem where, okay, I've taken courses, I've done online trainings and all of that, but they really don't have this experience to show for it and say, okay, this is what I've done, this is proof of my work. And that is our mission at Amdari, right? To bridge that gap between your learning and the work experience that you have. And we do this by providing our clients and our users like real end-to-end projects and hands-on projects in areas such as data analysis, data science, data engineering, business analysis, project management, SOC threat intelligence, ethical hacking, pen testing, and GRC, which is governance, risk, and compliance. And these projects that you do are not just to enhance your skill, but it helps you also build like a portfolio with a lot of experience to show to potential employers. And our vision is basically simple: to change the way people acquire industry knowledge and experience. It's amazing, right? Now, moving forward, I want to talk about one of our co-founder, Adeza Solman. Adeza is a technology expert with over a decade of experience in data analytics and management consulting, and is the founder of Analytics, a sister company, and co-founder of Amdari. And Adeza has helped over 2,850 plus people with no prior tech background to transition into tech and land their first jobs. His experience spanned across data science. He has been a consultant in the UK and in the US, data analyst for Sahara Group Limited, also a data analytics consultant. He has worked in several industries such as sports, financial services, edtech, energy, and automobile sector. And he currently resides in Alberta, Canada. Now, most people will be wondering, okay, who is this person that is talking to us today? We want to know her and all. My name is Queen Agada, and I'm a certified management consultant, and I have close to a decade of experience in business analysis, strategy, product strategy, data analysis, and digital transformation across several sectors. Right, I am proficient in a whole lot of tools such as Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Lucid Chart, Draw.io, Figma, and a whole lot of other tools, right? And I use these tools to gather requirements, model processes, track performance, and basically to help organizations make good decisions and solve their problems. Beyond my work as a BA, I am passionate about community work, empowering undeserved communities through technology. And as a mentor and an educator for years now, I contribute to Africa Tech Talent by training aspiring analysts like you, product professionals, and all of that. I'm a specialist at Amdari as well. Now, let us move forward to our conversation for today. Someone would ask that what are some of the problems that business analysts are facing, right? And these problems span across, span across several decades, and a lot of people have, encountered this problem before. And this problem, I sum them into three buckets, right? Some people have traditional BA rules whereby they just collect requirements and it stops there, right? And it now spans to the second problem, which is technology. We all know that technology change every time. If you don't change with the way technology is changing, that means that you are going to be an archaic BA and nobody wants that. The third problem, and I'm going to put it in this bucket, is that organizations, need BAs who can work with AI, automation, real-time data, and have experience. Most people get a lot of questions around, do BA even need to use data, understand data? Yes, the answer is yes. As a business analyst, you need that understanding of how data works. Because before you help an organization solve a problem, you need to get your data and your facts right. And when you are making recommendations, you need to back it up with data. It is not enough for you to recommend to an organization, maybe you guys should do this, you guys should do that. You need to back it up with concrete research and data. So these are the three buckets that, BAs face currently. Now, most people would say, okay, since we are facing this problem, how then do we now escape from it? And the truth is that most BAs don't have like the modern toolkit. If you are giving a BA job today, most people don't know how to go about it. They are business analysts, but they don't have like the modern toolkit, to solve the problem of organization. Now, I will want to talk about if you're a business analyst, there are non-negotiable toolkits that you need to have, which I sum under the modern BA toolkit. And I'm going to talk about them one by one. So if there are areas that you have questions in this aspect, then you can, kindly note them down. Okay, so the first toolkit is data analysis and visualization. I made mention of it before. This is basically where you use data to find insights and create dashboards. And you use this data, to help organizations make good decisions that are backed with concrete evidence. And as a BA, for you to be outstanding in your industry, you need to be able to work in the intersection of data, strategy, so that when you're recommending solutions, as BAs, we are problem solvers, right? And this data analysis and visualization skill would help you stand out in your career as a BA. And there are several tools for data analysis and visualizations, but we'll focus on the most popular one today. We have Power BI, you have Tableau, you have Excel, you have SQL. Those are all the data analysis tools or skills that you need to have as a business analyst today. Now we are talking about modern BAs, right? So we are making references to what happens at this particular moment this year, and it's going to be relevant in future. The second thing you need to have on your toolbox is the ability to have, agile and workflow management. Basically, you need to understand, how to track progress, user stories, team progress, and all of that, right? And you need to use tools like Jira, Confluence, Asana, and Trello. So these are the kind of tools that you need to have in your pockets when you say, okay, I'm going out there to look for a job. I want to be a senior BA. I want to be a mid-level BA. What exactly do I need to have? You need to be able to understand how Jira works, how Confluence works, how Asana works, how Trello works. And they are very, very important today. The other thing, the other bucket of, your set of toolkit that you need to have is for diagramming and prototyping, right? As BAs, one of the very, very important things we get to do is to map processes. And you map these processes when organizations are confused on, okay, we have a problem. We don't even know where the problem is. Some we even know where the problem is, but they don't have like a holistic view of exactly what needs to be done or where the problem is occurring. That is why as BA, we get to do a lot of diagramming and a lot of prototyping. Now, we use it to map processes, design solutions. If you get a job as an IT business analyst, you'll be designing software mockups and all of that. Now, what are some of the tools that you use for this particular skill? You use Lucid charts, you use Microsoft Visio, you use Figma, you use Draw.io, you use Balsamic. These are the popular and the ones that industries and large organizations use. Now, the other set of toolkits that you would have, there are a lot of frameworks. I call this one conceptual frameworks. That is because business analysts don't just do their activity alone. And this is what makes a good BA from just a regular BA, right? You don't just solve a problem because you want to solve a problem. You have to apply relevant frameworks to your problem solving, right? These frameworks are what I put under the conceptual framework toolkit, right? These are the method in which you solve a problem. Now, these are just mental models for you use to structure your analysis and your strategy. We have a lot of framework. The last time I checked, we had over 180 something different framework and tools that you can use as a BA to solve problems in organizations, right? Then I noted some few here. I'm sure you might have heard of some of them. SWOT analysis, you have gap analysis. SWOT analysis, if I can refresh your brain, is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So you also have gap analysis, which is basically talking about you look at the current state and you look at the future state, and you now ask yourself, okay, what is the gap that exists between these two? So these are all frameworks that you use in business analysis. We also have something called the 5 whys. This is basically a problem-solving framework where you ask why 5 times. If somebody say, okay, this is a problem in my organization, you now ask why. The person answers, you now ask why. The person answers, you now ask why again, to drill down to the problem that the person is trying to solve. We also have Moscow, we have PESO analysis, and we have a whole lot of frameworks. So these are not just a software situation here. These are frameworks that you do your BA work by. And when you want to solve a problem for an organization, you need to put this framework into perspective. And what makes you outstanding is for you to say, okay, I solved this problem and I use this particular framework, and this is why I adopted this particular framework. That is what makes you a modern BA, and that is what makes you outstanding. The last thing I would mention to be in your modern BA toolkit is collaboration too. As BAs, you need to be a person that know how to collaborate, because you're going to be meeting a lot of people, your stakeholders, right? Some are tech savvy, some are not tech savvy, right? And you need to be able to understand how collaboration works, and also collaboration tools. So basically, these tools are the tools that you use to communicate and work with your stakeholders, right? So we have tools like Slack, Teams, Zoom, and all of that. Normally, collaboration tools and workflow management tools work hand in hand. So as you are collaborating with them on Slack, you can be documenting your requirements and all of your meeting notes on Confluence. So all these 5 tools are the different toolkits that you need today to say, okay, I'm a modern BA, and these are the things I need to have in my arsenal to make sure that when a senior BA role comes today, I'm able to deliver on my work. Because the thing is, it's not just about getting a role, it's about, being outstanding, doing your work well, knowing what to do, knowing the right tool to adopt, and all of that. Now, to throw more light on this is, as BAs, right, we don't dwell on tools. We dwell mostly on outputs, right? Because most people get confused when they say, okay, must I use Jira? Must I use Confluence? Must I use Asana? Must I use Trello? You might go to an organization where they don't use Confluence. You might have to substitute for, Google Docs. Yeah, the organization where they don't use Lucid charts, you have to substitute with maybe draw.io, right? So you need to understand the output of your work, and that would help you determine, okay, which tool best works for me. Example, this data analysis and visualization. Not all organizations tend to use Tableau or Power BI. Some still live in the world of Excel spreadsheets, right? And as BAs, once you understand what you need to do, the analysis you need to carry out, the tool that you are using to carry out that analysis become very relevant, right? I just want to throw more light on that so that we don't get confused and, this is the tool that needs to be used, this is what we need to do and all of that. But all this make up the toolkit that you need to have today as a business analyst. Just to be sure we're on the same page, I want to see thumbs up, I want to see clap, I want to see thank you, Agnes, thank you, Jacqueline, thank you, Dia, thank you. Please remember, you can note down your questions. If you have questions at the end of the day, we'll take your questions and all of that information. Now, moving forward, the truth now is that technical skills alone won't save you, right? You can have all these skills that I mentioned, data analysis skills, workflow management skills, and all of that, right? But they would not save you if you are looking for a job. That will not save you when you go in front of the recruiter. Okay, you have this skill. Okay, what next? What will save you is you need experience. You need experience, and as business analysts, you need experience in 6 different areas. As different industry, as BA, we do our work under 6 knowledge areas. We have business analysis, planning, and monitoring. This is where you plan how your business analysis work would be. You have elicitation and collaboration. This is elicitation basically means getting your requirements. This elicitation has several techniques such as interviews, workshops, process observation, and all of that, right? These are elicitation and collaboration. Now, requirement lifecycle management basically is when you collect this requirement from your stakeholders, right? How do you manage this requirement to ensure that, okay, this team meets its need. This requirement 100% meets the needs of my stakeholders, right? Then we have strategy analysis, which is basically you looking at, okay, the current state, looking at your future states, and looking at doing your gap analysis to say, okay, how do I improve this process? How do I improve this organization? And all of that. Now we have the 5th one, which is requirements analysis and design definition. This is where you design what your requirement is supposed to be. In most situations, this is where you now do your wireframes, your mock-ups, your design of whatever solution. And it's not just an IT solution. Whatever solution you want to implement for your organization, this is where it comes in handy. Then the last one is solution evaluation. When you are trying to recommend a solution to a problem an organization has, you don't just pick one solution and just say, this is what it is, this is what you need to do, right? You need to mentally and with data evaluate the different solutions that you have, right? And put them in a bucket. There are different frameworks that you use for this solution evaluation. So we'll look at, okay, SWOT, look at the strengths, the weakness of each of the solution. There are several frameworks that you use under this. So as BAs, you need experience in these 6 knowledge areas for you to call yourself a modern BA. And for you to say, okay, I work in an industry or an organization of today. Now, the truth is that 60% of BA projects fail due to poor stakeholder management. Most people don't know how to manage their stakeholders, and it spans from the knowledge area where you should be able to learn, how to manage your stakeholders, the communication plan for you to manage your stakeholders, the words that are important, the words that are not important, and all of that. Now, what really matters? You have several skills of BAs: stakeholder management, communication, workshop facilitation, critical thinking, business acumen, and strategic thinking. All these are the things that you need as a modern BA of today. Now, not to talk so much, you've learned the tools that you need today to excel, to find an amazing job in an industry like business analysis. Now, I will just talk about one of my, my consultant at Amdari. That is a very close person to me, and just like all my consultants are close to me. Her name is Anita. So Anita transitioned from tailoring into business analysis, and she kept running into the same problem. Your resume is solid, but you don't have enough experience, right, to do your job. Now, instead of waiting for that break, Anita decided to register for Amdari work experience, and she started, real life experience, meeting with stakeholders, clarifying requirements, and all of that information, right? And she now got a job as a senior BA. And she's still in the program, by the way. So I will just show you guys what Anita has to say. Okay. Anita has to say about, just to give us a little context into
2 months into the program. So how does that feel? You got a business analyst role. So how does that feel?
Yeah, feels exciting. Yeah, feels exciting.
I just want to be sure we can hear the audio. Oh, great.
Amazing. That's actually great to know. So what specific skills or experience from this Amdari program would you really say gave you that confidence to ace your interview?
So I would say being in the shoes of a consultant actually helped because you're solving business cases, you're preparing the documentation. So having deeper experiences or having firsthand deeper experiences into creating all the business requirement documentations, using all of those tools, going deeper into business analysis itself was a good one for me. So it just helped prepare me for whatever interview was coming.
Awesome. So what would you say the reaction of the recruiters was like during the interview process? You ended up landing in senior business analyst role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the reaction like when they saw the quality of the project, or even from you talking about the projects you worked on? What was their reaction like
Yeah,
as a result of what you built, the experience you gained, and what you could do?
I could only see a reaction of, okay, this is the girl we are looking for. This is the person we want to work with, right? And that was because having had experience working with those processes as a consultant in Amdari, I was able to defend those projects, talk about the project in depth. I was able to talk about the tools used in the project, cost of the project, benefit, which is everything you would learn and do as a consultant in Amdari. So the only reaction I got was, this is our girl, this is the person we want. Because even at the interview there, they already started asking me how long I needed to give notice in my current job, and then showing me and telling me about the office, what I should expect and all of that. So it was actually it was very encouraging having to know that, okay, you could do an interview, you could ace it very well, and then you get good feedback even while still doing the interview. Not like they'll tell you, we'll reach back to you, or we'll get back to you in 3 5 days, and you didn't hear from them and stuff. Yeah. So it was actually an amazing one.
Awesome. So what aspect of your experience at Amdari, right? What aspect of the internship itself really helped you to ace your interview, to go from being a job seeker to somebody that ultimately lands the job, not just being job ready in this case? So from the mentorship sessions at Amdari to the interview prep and the mock interview session and the project and, every other thing in between, including CV revamp, what aspects would you say really helped you to land the job?
I don't think I can pinpoint one aspect because everything just worked together, right? Yeah, everything worked together. The fact that you are coming on board as a consultant just made you feel responsible for the project, right? So having that responsibility alone for the project is making you want to know more and being inquisitive I'm learning how to use more tools, how to think and document like a business analyst. So I wouldn't say there was a particular part of it that was instrumental to the success of everything. I feel like it's a combination of everything. And then your mindset coming in also, your mindset plays a big role in everything. So coming in already, in fact, on joining as a business consultant, the lady I spoke to, I told her that I want to get another job in 1 month, right? And the people around me
And
just
you got
laughed.
it.
Yeah, the people around me laughed like, why you have something you're doing? Why do you want to get another job in 1 month? Right. So I
Yes.
feel like your mindset plays a big role. And then coming in as a consultant, like doing it like you're doing the job, do the job, it exposes you to a lot of things and you're learning better, you're doing better, you're working on
Yeah, I sincerely agree with the mindset part of it. So, because whenever we speak to a lot of prospects who are planning on joining Amdari, one thing they always ask is, how sure are you that the 4 months is going to be enough for me to get a job? Are you sure I'm going to get a job? And one thing I tell them is, we have people that got jobs early into the program, right? And it's one thing I've noticed about it is, it's always the mindset and the zeal. They all come in with that energy and they are really committed to it. So the results just comes up at the end of the day, right? And you just testifying to this. You started in August and we're just in September, right? So you also testifying to this fact is just further validating the fact that when we set our minds to something, honestly, we just need a system that supports us, and getting that which we want is very much possible. So on the note of people who are on the fence, trying to join the program and considering whether or not, or contemplating whether or not they should trust Amdari with their journey, what would you say to this category of people?
I would say just go for it. I have other friends who are business analysts. I haven't told them I've pivoted already. I've not told them anything. But I'm sure when I tell them, they will tell me, give us the
How
link,
did you do
right?
it?
You understand, right? So I feel like it's a you thing, right? If you want to do it, don't mind the cost. You want to learn more, use more tools, be exposed to different projects, work on those projects, right? Then it's a go. You should go for it.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much.
Okay, before I move forward, please, I'm looking for that person. For you to join this call today, it means you are passionate about business analysis, right? So I want you to look into Anita's testimony and maybe drop the role you are looking to get in the comment section. If you want to be a senior BA, if you want to be a junior BA, if you want to be an intermediate, just drop it with faith. You don't know what will happen. So you can just drop it on the comment section, senior BA. Who knows? You're not dropping. I'm not seeing comments. Who knows if I have the opportunities? I want to see a thumbs up. I want to see you commenting down senior BA. Not just BA, be specific. The senior BA rule. Because if you hear the salary, I when she told me about it, I was just screaming. I said, this is exactly what I love to hear. And there are several testimonies like that. Several people that have gone through this process, and they are senior BA. Jacqueline says senior BA. Delia says senior BA. Just two people want to be senior BA. This is amazing. Senior BA. Tobilola says senior BA. Nobody wants to be junior. Everybody just wants to be senior. This is amazing and it's achievable, right? Isioma says senior BA. This is nice. Abimbola senior BA. With faith, right? This is very, very achievable because Anita, she's a fashion designer and she's even making a clothes for me, and she moved from fashion design to being a senior BA. It's an amazing thing. And yes, Domingo says senior BA, process analyst role. Of course, it's also like being a business analyst. So these are all different things you can achieve. Now, I want to take us through one project that Anita did. Remember, I'm her consultant, so I kind of know personally and one-on-one. So let me take you guys through the project that she did. So she did a, okay. So Anita did a project. The project was about integrating a customer feedback system for a resort. And this project, she said she spoke about this project during the interview, and they were blown away. The kind of things she mentioned she did, her deliverables, and all of that, right? And now, basically, the problem that the organization had, and they brought it to our consultants, was that despite its strong reputation, they have been struggling to aggregate, not just aggregate, to analyze and also act upon customer feedback efficiently. And the company's failure to identify this, recurring issue resulted in a lower operational efficiency and a direct loss of revenue because they had negative review and they were also having fewer repeat bookings, right? Now, the manager was frustrated and they were looking for how to, get clarity and visibility into the kind of feedbacks people were giving them and all of that. And they wanted to have data backed, insight into what people wanted because they were guessing what customers want and how they feel instead of knowing exactly what customers needed. Now, that was one of the projects that Anita worked on. Now, there are different ways to solve problems as a business analyst, but there's a structural, process, a life cycle where you solve problems. As BAs, there is a structure. Although, just to clarify, BA is we have the knowledge areas, right? But context now coming. When you are solving this problem, right, you now have to apply, okay, in what context am I applying this? Am I applying this particular thing? In what context am I, doing this particular project? That is when some things will now change in your interpretation and in the work and the deliverable that you do for the project, right? Now, Anita used this particular structure, the BA process lifecycle structure, to do this. And the first thing she did was the business understanding, which basically meant she understood the problem of the organization and the objective and the kind of problem that they wanted to solve. Remember, their problem was that they did not have visibility into the kind of problems that they were having and the kind of feedbacks that they were having as an organization. Right now, she did that by speaking with the stakeholders, doing her elicitation and collaboration. Remember our knowledge areas, right? So you now have to start linking all these things she did to the knowledge areas of business analysis. She now understood. She did stakeholder interviews, and with that stakeholder interviews and understanding of what stakeholders want and their requirements, she now did as is process flow. That is to visually show exactly what the process of handling this feedback currently is. She also went further to do a future state, which is if this problem is now solved, this is how it's going to look like. Right? She now went further to define the solution, which is started building her product requirement documents, her BRD, her FRD to say, this is exactly what you want. And you don't do these things just to get buy-in from your stakeholders, right? To say, A, B, C, D, E, F, these are the things that you say you want. Are we sure? Are you sure this is what you want? Now the stakeholders and give us signed off, okay. Proceed with this, right? And she now started doing that. Now, she now started defining, should we buy off the shelf, or there are tools that can actually do this, or should we build a system in-house? This is where she developed things like business cases to say, these are the opportunities, these are the options that we have. You can buy an off-the-shelf system that will clearly do this, or you want to build in-house. And they wanted to build in-house. So she went further into development, into designing the wireframes and the prototype and development, and that particular problem for the organization was solved. So this is a typical process that Anita took to do that particular project. She did several projects, but that is just one of the projects that she did, and all of that. Now, moving forward, as BAs, right, you can take, let me just say, 20 pages of requirement documentation, and you translate them to solutions. Remember, our solutions are not just technical solutions, right? There are solutions that can be technical, there can be maybe process change, there can be maybe digital transformation, there can be even HR transformation, right? When you have a problem and an organization comes to you as a business analyst, your first instinct shouldn't be, should we build a solution? Or should we build a software? No, that doesn't make you an outstanding BA. You have to evaluate the solution, look at, okay, what can be done. And some situations, what needs to be done is just maybe you need to remove just one step of the process. Maybe, for instance, this particular feedback system, they needed a solution because, okay, they wanted to see their whole feedback at a go. Now, in some instances, when you are doing another project, maybe what you need to do is just say, okay, this is what your process currently looks like. This is exactly the bottleneck that you're having, and this is where your problem is. So remove this process and you are all good to go. And the organization will implement this recommendation. And you see that, the whole organization start moving seamlessly, they start making revenue and all. So as BA, I like to call myself a problem solver. Because I'm a magician, literally, because the way people are seeing problem or maybe seeing process and giving them problem, I would tend to go into this process, understanding, look for relevant data, and provide a solution that will make sure that my stakeholders are kept happy. But this is just what Anita did. She's translated requirements, I need this, I need that, into a solution that works and the company can use. Now, this is just one of the wireframe of one of the work she did. The feedback system, how it's going to look, the login, and the resource manager's dashboard. There are several dashboards that she developed, and she talked about this particular project during her interview, and they were blown away, right? So yeah, please, my colleague is in the comment section. If you want the recording and the PowerPoint slides, please just fill the attendance form on the comment section. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is just what Anita worked on, just one of the projects she worked on. And she did that within 1 month, where she got the role of a senior BA. Now, I would just want to take us through some of our success stories of people that have passed through this work experience program, and they are doing amazing. They have gone to do great things. We also have Betty. Betty also lacks, hands-on experience. People that will be needing UK experience, you need to have level of 2 years, 3 years experience, or you need to even show proof of what you have done before. Now, Betty also had the problem, but after joining the work experience, everything changed. She did not only just get skills, right? She secured a role as an IT business analyst and a project manager, even before completing the program, just like Anita. And this is because she had the proof of her skills, and she was able to show the deliverables that she worked on. So during your interviews, right, when they're asking you, okay, you say you did this project, what are some of the things you worked on? You now start mentioning, I developed a BRD, I developed a business case, I developed an FRD, I did user stories. These are the kind of things that, recruiters are looking to hear. There are some keywords that if you don't even mention, you don't even have a chance. But during the work experience, you do these things. So when you're talking about it, it has weight, it carries substance. Because you talk about, okay, during this project, these are my deliverables, right? It makes them more interested in having that conversation with you. And I'm telling you for a fact, getting that job has become very, very easy. So that is Betty. We also have Buki that got a role as a data scientist, one of the largest retail firms in the world. She sent us a WhatsApp message, and we also have Sean actually got two offers as a data analysis specialist with a consulting firm and a senior data reporting analyst with a government regulator in the UK. So Sean actually got two jobs. Now, one of the biggest challenge most candidates face during interviews is credibility. Many candidates have the skills, but employers, especially UK employers, they want to verify how these skills translate to work environment. You cannot just go for a training and say, okay, I know how to do this, but you have not applied it anywhere in any work experience. And this is where Amdari come to solve their problem. Now, at the end of the experience, we provide a reference form to say, okay, employers can confirm that you did this job that you claim you did. And that is what makes us at Amdari amazing, because you will get a reference to say, okay, yes, you did this job, you did this, these were your deliverables, this is what you achieved, and all of that. Now, you'll be asking yourself another question. Okay, I have the skills, but I don't have work experience. So recruiters don't trust me to hire me. And you're now asking me, Queen, okay, how do I now gain this work experience? So welcome to Amdari once more. Now, we have three different platforms. We have your career rebrand platform. As an intern, you get to do your remote virtual experience. We also have Amdari Learn, where you see crash courses, short courses, where you can, refresh your memory. If there are some skills that you have problem with, you can always go there to refresh your memory as an intern. We also have things that are part of our package. We have employability services, CV revamp, CV review, we have LinkedIn optimization, we have mentorship, we have career coaching, interview prep, job references, on the job support. This on the job support, I want to talk about it enough, because even till today, once Anita, if she needs anything, if you need any help, we still chat. Okay, I need to do this. How do I go about? Like, we still support you to make sure that you get settled in at your job and you are amazing at what you do. Now, we also have an Amdari job board where we get jobs, remote jobs from LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Flex Jobs, GitHub, Remote, okay, Indeed, and a whole lot of jobs. We have that on our Amdari job board. So these are just three pack things that are very, very amazing. The experience where you get to work on real life projects. We have your CV will be revamped, your LinkedIn will be optimized, the mentorship and career sessions, the interview prep sessions. So if you have an interview as an intern, all you need to do is to notify us. We will prep you to make sure that you do amazing at that interview. It's also part of the package that we offer here at Amdari. Now, just to give a snapshot of exactly what you would get, right? You would do, you have CV review and revamp, LinkedIn optimization, tips on how to navigate the job market, interview preparations, job reference letter, on the job support. So this is you, and these are the things that Amdari is going to be helping you with. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Now, you get to be having stakeholder meetings, client feedback, real business challenge, the real tools, real collaboration, real deliverables. And you also have to do that for 4 months of internship. And at the end of the day, you're going to get a job reference letter that will make you stand out anywhere you take that reference letter to. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because I'm sure some people will be asking, okay, this is nice. How do I now join? How do I proceed? Our next cohort is actually starting the 6th of December, and we have a Black Friday discount, which is 40% off, and you get to pay $299 instead of 500. And for that, we have limited slots available. So you might want to jump on this as soon as possible. Remember, next cohort starts 6th December. And also, the discount kind of applies to 3 months work experience, but you now have a 1 free month experience, so which makes it 4 months, right? You can pay full amount, which is 500. The discount is 299, and you save 201. And you can also pay for other things like, okay, SOC analysis, threat intelligence, ethical hacking, pen testing, and also for business analysis, project management, and all of that. Now there's a discount on all of that. So instead of 500, you pay 299. And we also have opportunity for you to pay instrumentally. So all you need to do is, when you get this particular slide, you just click on this button here that says click here to pay, and or message any of this number, WhatsApp only, and you get further information from there. We have a lot of success stories at Amdari. What we do, we have so much, give so much value, and the interns that pass through us are very, very happy. We have Andrew, who also secured a BA job. We have Nimat, who secured a data analysis job. Solomon secured a data engineering job. Busayo, data analysis job. We have Stephanie. We have Timmy, cybersecurity analyst job. We have Olani, also a data analysis job. So when you get this slide, you can go ahead and watch the recordings, what they've got to say about the internship and all of that. Now, why do our interns thrive better in the job market? There are several things they get to do. One, they work on cross-functional teams. What happens here is that you don't just work as a BA. You collaborate with project managers, you collaborate with data analysts, you collaborate with data scientists, right? You work the same way you would typically work in an organization. This is what we do here. You get to work with other teams as well to bring a solution to life. So you work with PMs. Anita also worked with several people. She collaborated on several projects, you work with PMs, and at the end of the day, you have that experience. Because working in a job, why experience is important is because working in a job, it gives you that understanding of even collaborating and working with people. And this is one thing that makes Amdari stand out, because you get to work with different teams and different individuals. Now, you master industry tools, Jira, Lucid chart, and all of that. You also get to gain hands-on experience with projects. You are doing projects that you can showcase to your recruiter any day, and they would say, yes, this is amazing, this is the value she created. Now, you also get to get feedbacks. You do like a project showcase where you show, okay, this is what I've done, and your specialists get to give you comprehensive feedback to say, okay, this is what you should have done better, this is what you can implement, and all of that. You also get to have like a portfolio, and you get to create this portfolio on very easy step. To create this portfolio, you get to create your portfolio on the website, on Amdari website as well. In just few clicks, your portfolio is ready. Your portfolio, you can now include the projects that you did at Amdari, and you can showcase this portfolio anywhere. And lastly, you get to receive a reference letter that is recognized globally. So you can work in the UK, you can work in Canada, you can work in anywhere at all with this particular reference letter. So this is what makes the consultants at Amdari, better and stand out in the job market. Now, I would want to take questions. I want to take concerns and all of any concern you may have, any information you may need, any further information. Please, you can raise up your hand, or you can drop it in the comment section. Yes, okay. So she said, do you need the skills and the education first? You need to have some level of skills, although the first month of your training is tailored towards refreshing your memory, taking you through some concepts, how to use some of these tools. But you need to have like some level of, experience to say, or some level of training. Maybe you've taken 1 to 2 courses before. Yes, so you need some level of training, but we take the first 1 month to take you through some concepts, refresh your memory. And while you're working on projects, you tend to like refresh your memory on some key concepts. So how to use some tools. If it's Power BI, you need to build a dashboard. There's a refresher on to say, okay, this is how you do this is how you do that. So yeah, if you've taken 1 or 2 courses before on any platform, it's a good idea and it's totally okay. Yes, our internship is purely remote, so you can actually work with us from anywhere. It must not be in the UK alone. It can be Canada, it can be any country that you're in, any country at all. It's a remote experience. And yes, we work with you, we prep you for this interview. If you are looking for remote jobs, Anita's role is hybrid. She gets to work from home and go to the office once in a while. So yes, we do that. That's Delia. Please, more questions, comment session, please. Yes, go on, please.
Hi, Quinn. You forgot to mention that the Black Friday ends tomorrow. So, for anybody that wants to participate in the Black Friday, tomorrow will be the last day.
It's just like my colleague mentioned. For the Black Friday sales, please, tomorrow is the last day. Yes, Emanuela said, do you also assist in interview prep? Yes, 100%. 100%. I will be with you. We would tend to do mock interview. I would also bring on board specialists like me, consultant, people that are very, very knowledgeable. We get to prep you, make sure that that confidence is there, that stage fright that people have. You work with us first before you go there. So yes, we assist you with interview preps. Abimbola said, what you do for anyone that just wants to start a career in business analysis. I think my colleague will better answer that. Olumide,
So
yes.
I am Ebola. You will not be able to join the Amdari program if you don't have at least some level of basic knowledge when it comes to business analysis. But we have a sister company called Analytics. I'll put their name in the comment section now. You can reach out to them. They have a course on business analysis that you can take, that and they have a package that comes with, what's it called? After your program, they transfer you to Amdari too. So that's it.
Yeah, Abimbola, I hope you got that. So you can check out our sister company, Analytics, and you'll get that training. Also, Delia said, how about if someone that hasn't taken courses will have some knowledge of using tools like Excel, PowerPoint, and Word? Sadly, as a BA, the tools that you need, you have Jira, Confluence, Trello, and all of that. So if you don't have those knowledge yet, I recommend you check out our sister company, Analytics, just to get like knowledge about before you move to Amdari. At Amdari, we just start working on projects, okay? Okay. Oh, thank you, Agnes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Do we have more questions? Please ask your questions. I'm here to answer them. Okay. Remember, our Black Friday ends tomorrow. So if you want to take this opportunity to work on projects, please, there is a link on the chat. You can please click on that link to make your payment and also sign your attendance just to get the recording of the session. Okay. All right, no more questions.